Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And in today's video, I want to share with you guys the settings that I currently have and sensitivities that help me to aim much better and to hit more shots than I was before. And as well, I'm going to give you guys 3 of my best tips to be able to hit more shots with your aim immediately. So definitely stay to the end of the video so you guys can get all of the tips and the sensitivities that I'm currently using. And real quick, before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. If you guys would like to participate in the next giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Hit the notification bell, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered. If you guys would like to support them in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in my creator code, which is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And lastly, I'm super excited to announce my new merch. You guys can find it in the link in the description or the pinned comment if you guys are interested. Definitely get a long sleeve t-shirt or a hoodie if you guys like it. And with that being said, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 really great tips that you can use to help improve and hit more shots, and as well show you guys some really great settings to put on that you guys should change that is really going to help you hit way more shots here in this current season and meta. So settings that I'm currently using right now that I like a ton: I have a 1.6 building with a 1.7 editing, and then my horizontal speed is a 52% with my vertical at a 49%. Now I really like this lineup a lot. In previous, I kind of had the reverse, where I had a higher building and editing and then a lower horizontal and vertical, but I really do like having the higher horizontal and vertical speed and then having a little bit lower on the building and editing, because the building and editing being 1.6 and 1.7, it's still quite quick, but it is a little bit more on the smooth side, which is good because you're going to be able to get used to the sensitivity really fast. Because if you lower your sensitivity, you can typically get used to it a lot quicker than if you raise it. And then the horizontal and vertical speed, I play on a little bit higher now, being on a 52 and 49%. And the reason why I like this a ton is because, just quite frankly, most of your gunfights you're going to at least be using a shotgun in just about 90% of your gunfights that you win. So you want to have a sensitivity that you're able to turn around really quickly in boxes, but also at the same time, you want to have a sensitivity that's accurate. So I think this sensitivity that I currently have here is really great for being able to turn around really quickly. I'm able to build fast and smooth, and it's just a sensitivity that I was able to pick up and really get used to with only a couple days of trying it out. Like I said, I typically played on a little bit lower, like a 45 or 46%. But raising it up to a 49 and 52%, I was able to pick it up in a couple days, and my aim has been really great since. And the real reason why my sensitivity or my aim is great on the sense that I have is because my look damping time is a 0.15, which typically, I guess you can say, is a little bit on the higher end as far as look dampening. But I think it's great, and it's something that you have to use if you are on a higher of a horizontal and vertical speed. 0.15 look dampening is really great. You're able to not only have the advantages of having a higher sensitivity, but you're also able to control that sensitivity a lot faster, because playing on a high sensitivity is just difficult to control for most players. Even if you play with high sensitivity for a while, there's going to be so many instances where you're overcorrecting and you're missing shots that you shouldn't have just because you're flicking too hard or whatever the case may be. So having a 0.15 look damping time allows you to play on a high sensitivity. You're able to turn around quickly, but also at the same time, you're going to be able to be really accurate with your AR from range. And also when you're in box fights, you're able to make those smaller analog stick adjustments and hit those shots no problem. So those are all the sensitivities that I currently have and that I like. I want to share with you guys a couple of tips that you can use to hit more shots and to be much more accurate than before. So something that I do a ton, and this applies to really all aspects, but specifically long range. So if you're looking to shoot the target that's in front of you and you have to just barely move your crosshair over, so say you want to go for a headshot and you're just barely off the other player, you usually don't want to use your right analog stick because you'll accidentally move over too far, unless you're on like a 4 sensitivity or like something like ridiculously low. Most of the time, if you have to move over just slightly, you don't want to use your right analog stick because you'll over move. Instead, what you want to use is your left analog stick, because if you're just barely off your target, you're able to see how my character, when I use my left stick, I'm able to just slowly inch over to the other player. So this is something that you want to do and abuse if you have to just barely move your crosshair over, because if you move your right analog stick, a lot of times you're going to overdo it and you're going to miss the other player entirely. So you can use your left analog stick to help you aim. You're able to just inch yourself ever so slightly over, and you're going to be hitting way more shots. It's going to be more accurate, and you're going to light up your shot a lot quicker because you're able to just slowly move over and then begin shooting them versus moving your right stick over and then shooting. So this is a really great tip that a lot of people underutilize that really helps out when it comes to hitting shots from range, and you're going to be able to do so. So the second thing you guys want to do is you definitely want to utilize jumping when you're shooting other players. And this comes into box fights. And when it comes to jumping, as you can see, when I jump over the other player, it's almost impossible to hit their feet. You're either going to be hitting the upper chest or a headshot. More than likely, you're going to be hitting headshots. And when you're going to jump and shoot on another player, you always want to make sure that you jump at the peak of your jump. So that way, because otherwise it just feels awkward and you're not able to aim to the best of your ability. And the reason why I talk about jumping, which it just seems like an obvious tip, a lot of players aren't jumping at the peak of their jump. And of course, like if you're about to die, then you have to shoot no matter what. But you always want to shoot at the peak of your jump because that's where you're going to have the best angle on the other player. Because if you jump and they don't, you're going to have a really easy time lining up your shot for that headshot. You're going to be hitting way more damage, and you're going to be winning that fight more than likely. And also when you jump, it kind of helps the other player to sort of miss you. And even if they hit you, if you jump over them, they're only going to hit you in the feet, and it's almost impossible for them to get a headshot if you like jump over them, or you jump in a way that's just really hard for them to get any sort of shot. So that's why jumping is really important, and you always want to make sure you jump at the peak. If you jump before or as you're coming down, you're not going to have a good angle, and at the same time, it's just going to feel a little bit awkward. You're not going to be able to line up your shot properly. So that's something that you guys have to keep in mind when you are jump shotting players. Like I said, jump at the peak or shoot at the peak of your jump. That's when you're going to be the most accurate and you're going to have the best positioning possible. And then for the third and final tip, it's actually two tips. The first one is something that I've talked about a lot, and that's just when you're editing, you always want to finish the edit where the other player is currently, so you don't have to edit and then you have to aim again. You kind of want to aim and edit at the same time. So when you're going for an edit, you finish off the edit where the other player is currently standing. But the second thing that you guys have to do and really keep in mind, and this is something that might seem obvious as well, but you almost never want to challenge from a left-hand side. And this comes more than just like walking around walls. It comes in build fights too, because every time you go to shoot, you're either going to be on the left side or right side of another player. And if you're going against anyone good or just anyone in general, if you challenge from a left-hand side, the only exception that you would want to do this is if you have 200 HP and the other guy has like 30 and you're willing to take a shot, because the other player is guaranteed to be able to get a shot off before you if you challenge from a left-hand side. It doesn't matter if it's around a wall, around a corner. If you're not challenging a player from the angle that you want, it's better to not shoot that shot at all. Like a lot of the times what can happen is if you have like 80 HP and the other guy has 20, if you just like blindly chase a guy into a building and run around a corner, a lot of times you're going to lose that gunfight unless they happen to hit you for like a 20 damage shot, which does sometimes happen. You always want to give yourself the best possible advantage and angle, meaning that if you don't have a good angle on the other player, don't even try to take the shot. Always try to reposition. That's something that's really important. That's going to allow you to be more accurate, because hitting your shots really can just come down to having a good angle on the other player. Because even if you're able to challenge from the left-hand side, to even have a good enough angle to do sufficient damage, you're going to have to be taking a huge chunk of your HP just to do it. Because if you challenge from the left side, you have to walk around, and then you have to like have an extra 2 seconds you have to give to be able to line up a shot in a way that's going to hit for enough damage. So you're guaranteed to take damage before the other player. So if you don't have 200 HP and the other guy has like 30, you always want to make sure that you give yourself the best possible angle. And when you're editing and you're walking around corners, you always want to edit in a way that gives you an advantage, not just blindly edit, which a lot of people do. They don't even think about what they're editing. So when you're edit, always make sure that when you're editing, that you're editing in a way that makes sure that you give a right hand advantage on that shot. Otherwise, it's going to give you a disadvantage. and you're probably going to have a harder time winning that gunfight than before, and you're just not going to be as accurate. But with that being said, that's wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit the notification bell so you guys will get notified for every single new upload. And as well, I do live stream almost every day on the channel at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys hit that notification bell, you guys will get a notification for when I go live on this channel. But with that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.